Why are so many Americans living paycheck to paycheck, even with good jobs? It's not just bad budgeting. The real story might shock you. Stay tuned to find out what's really keeping us broke. Remember to like and subscribe for more Money Smart Basics videos. If you have any suggestions for financial literacy topics, please leave a comment. Stay until the end to receive a bonus tip. Let's start with Sarah. She works full-time at a pharmacy in Ohio. Her shifts are long, but her pay is steady. At the end of every month, Sarah sits at her kitchen table with a calculator in one hand and her heart pounding in her chest. Rent is due, groceries are running low, the electric bill is waiting. After paying the essentials, she has just enough left over for a tank of gas and maybe a pizza night with her kids, if nothing goes wrong. Sarah isn't lazy or careless with her money. She clips coupons, tracks every dollar, and never splurges on herself. But when her car breaks down or her son gets sick, the whole delicate balance collapses. Suddenly she's behind on a bill, adding late fees to her growing list of worries. It's a constant race to catch up, and every setback feels like a mountain. This isn't just Sarah's story, it's the reality for almost 2/3 of Americans who live paycheck to paycheck. Even people with jobs, sometimes more than one, often find themselves trapped in this exhausting cycle. The stress is relentless, and the sense of falling behind never really fades. Living like this is exhausting, both physically and mentally. It makes it hard to plan for the future or enjoy small pleasures. For millions of Americans, the struggle to make ends meet is real, and it's not because they aren't trying hard enough. It's because the system itself is stacked against them. It's easy to say that people just need better jobs. Sure, low wages are part of the problem, but that's only one piece of a much bigger puzzle. Even people with good jobs, teachers, nurses, office workers, are feeling the squeeze. Why? Because the cost of almost everything has gone up much faster than their paychecks. Think about it, rent, groceries, gas, and healthcare all cost way more now than they did just a few years ago. Meanwhile, pay raises are tiny or non-existent. If you're lucky, you might get a few extra dollars each year, but it's never enough to cover the rising bills. This means even small emergencies can push people over the edge. Some people think saving a little each month will protect them, but when prices keep rising and paychecks don't, even the best savers can't keep up. It's like trying to fill a bathtub with the drain wide open. No matter how hard you try, the water just keeps slipping away. So, yes, low wages matter. But the real story is that the cost of living has outpaced nearly everyone, making it nearly impossible to get ahead. The problem is bigger than any one person's paycheck. Let's break down some of the biggest expenses eating up American paychecks. First, there's housing. Rents and mortgages have exploded in recent years, especially in cities. Even small towns aren't immune, with many people paying half their salary just to keep a roof over their heads. There's little left for anything else. Next is food. Grocery prices have shot up, making even basic meals more expensive than ever. Families are forced to choose between fresh produce and cheaper, less healthy options. Eating well is now a luxury, not a given. And eating out, forget about it, it's become a rare treat for most. Then there's healthcare. Even with insurance, medical bills can be crushing. A single visit to the emergency room or an unexpected prescription can throw off an entire month's budget. Many people skip doctor visits or cut pills in half just to save money, risking their health in the process. These three essentials, housing, food, and healthcare, make up the lion's share of expenses for most households. When these costs rise, there's simply not enough left for savings, fun, or emergencies. The math just doesn't add up. Imagine you're finally getting by, then suddenly the fridge dies or your child needs a surprise trip to the dentist. Even small emergencies can throw everything out of balance. For many Americans, there's no cushion to soften these blows. The smallest crisis can start a chain reaction of missed bills and mounting debt. It's not just about one-off disasters either. Replacing a tire, fixing a leaky roof, or paying for a prescription, all are common, and all can break a budget. Over half of Americans can't cover a $500 emergency without borrowing money or skipping another bill. These surprises aren't rare, they're regular facts of life. When emergencies hit, people turn to credit cards, payday loans, or family for help. But these solutions often make things worse. High interest rates and fees build up fast, trapping people in a cycle of debt that's hard to escape. One problem leads to another, and soon, getting back on track feels impossible. This constant threat of unexpected expenses keeps people on edge. It makes saving feel pointless and adds to the stress of everyday living. The margin for error is razor thin, and the risks are everywhere. Now, let's talk about the American credit system. In theory, it's meant to help people access loans and build a financial future. But, in reality, it often feels like a game you can never win. Your credit score is supposed to reflect how responsible you are with money, but the rules are confusing and frankly sometimes unfair. Paying off a loan early? That can actually hurt your score. Closing a credit card, even if you never used it? That can hurt too. And if you avoid debt altogether, your score can be low just because there's not enough information. It's a system that punishes caution and rewards borrowing. To make things worse, many people have to take on debt just to build a credit history. This means borrowing money not because you need it, but because the system demands it. And if you miss a payment, the penalties are huge. High interest rates, late fees, and a score that drops like a stone. For millions, credit isn't a tool, it's a trap. It keeps people borrowing just to keep their heads above water, and escaping the cycle feels impossible. The rules seem stacked against the average person, making financial freedom a distant dream. Are payday loans helping, or making things worse? If you're stuck living paycheck to paycheck, payday loans may seem like a quick fix. But the truth is, they often create a cycle of debt that's hard to escape. Payday loans are short-term, high-interest loans that typically charge 300% to 600% APR. Sounds insane, right? But for millions of Americans with no savings and bad credit, it feels like the only option. Here's how it works. You borrow $300 to cover a bill. In 2 weeks, you owe $345. Can't pay it? Roll it over and now you owe even more. This cycle traps people in long-term debt, all to cover short-term emergencies. According to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, most payday loan borrowers end up taking out 10 or more loans in a single year. So why do people turn to them? Because 6 in 10 Americans don't have $500 saved for an emergency. The real issue isn't just payday loans, it's a lack of financial literacy, poor wages, rising costs, and limited access to affordable credit. If you're struggling, don't fall for the payday loan trap. Instead, build a small emergency fund. Even $10 a week helps. Explore credit unions or nonprofit lenders. Seek financial counseling. Want to break the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle for good? Let's be honest, most of us never learned how to handle money. Schools rarely teach budgeting, saving, or investing. Instead, we're thrown into the adult world and told to figure it out as we go. It's like being handed a car with no driving lessons and expected not to crash. This lack of education means many people learn about money the hard way. Maybe you max out a credit card in college or miss a rent payment because you didn't budget for the electric bill. These mistakes stick with you for years, hurting your credit and your chances of getting ahead. Some people develop bad habits, spending money as soon as they get it or falling for buy now, pay later traps. Others are afraid to spend it all, scared that any purchase could lead to disaster. Without the right knowledge, it's hard to find a healthy balance. Financial literacy isn't just about numbers, it's about feeling confident and in control. Until we teach these skills, people will keep making costly mistakes, stuck in a cycle that's hard to break. Some people say, if you just worked harder or spent smarter, you'd be fine. Others blame the system, low wages, high costs, and unfair rules. The truth is, it's both and neither. Yes, personal choices matter, but even the best choices can't overcome a system stacked against you. There's a myth in America that anyone can get ahead with enough effort. But when rent takes half your paycheck and healthcare eats up the rest, effort isn't always enough. The game is rigged. People are working longer hours than ever, yet still falling behind. At the same time, some do make mistakes, buying things they can't afford, or ignoring bills. But often these are symptoms of deeper problems: stress, lack of hope, or just trying to hold on to a little happiness. Blaming individuals ignores the larger forces at work. If we want real solutions, we have to look at both sides. People need better education and support, but the system itself needs to change. Until then, the cycle will continue. So, why do so many Americans live paycheck to paycheck? It's not just one thing, it's everything. Rising costs, flat wages, emergencies, debt traps, missing money skills, and a system that punishes the vulnerable. The problem is massive, and there's no easy solution. This isn't just about individuals making bad choices. It's about a society where almost everyone is one emergency away from disaster. The struggle is shared, and it cuts across race, age, and background. If you feel stuck, you're far from alone. Change won't come overnight. We need better education, fairer wages, affordable essentials, and a credit system that actually helps people. But before we fix it, we have to see it. Really see how hard it is for so many, and why. Understanding the problem is the first step. We can't solve what we refuse to see. And maybe, just maybe, if we stop blaming and start listening, we can make life a little less stressful for everyone. Congratulations, you made it to the end of the video. With that, you are ahead of 90% of most people in America. Here's the bonus tip that we promised. Everybody wants more money, but few track where it goes. Let's change that today. Track every dollar you spend for 30 days. You'll see where your money disappears, and how small changes can lead to big savings. Start now and watch your money grow. Hit like if you're ready to take control. The information in this video is for educational and entertainment purposes only, and is not intended as financial advice. We are not financial advisors, and the content should not be construed as professional financial advice. Always seek the advice of a qualified financial advisor or other professional regarding your specific financial situation. The use of any information provided in this video is solely at your own risk. Please remember to like, subscribe, and comment for more Money Smart Basics videos.